Whoa, was this therapy on myself or an actual video I need to post? Welcome back, dear friends! Today's video is going to be the first of the Little Scientist segment, in which we will talk about uni life and studying in real life. In this segment, I want to help or entertain other students or aspiring students talk about topics, probably a lot of mental health concerning stuff, and of students and my personal experience, of course. I would love to get your input on how uni life feels for you and how you cope with everything. Tell me your stories in the comment section below. Also, this segment is a little more personal, so yeah, welcome to my living room, which is also my kitchen, my bedroom, my library, my closet, my walk-in closet, mind you, and work office. Do you see my Corona pants? This is what I've been wearing since March, basically. I do have 4 pairs of them, so I do wash them regularly. Don't be disgusting. Today I want to talk about the imposter syndrome, as you have probably seen in the title. The imposter syndrome is the consistent feeling that everything you have and everything you have achieved is just a fraud, and you got there by mistake or solely by the help you got from others rather than studying and hard work. You do not believe that people like you could possibly succeed in whatever you are doing or you are trying to do, and whatever position it is you have at the moment. Your success is not your own, and at some point somebody will notice that you didn't do any of it and that you are not worth the position or the compliments that you are getting, the successes you are having. You are not alone with this. Approximately 70% of people experience this feeling at least once in their life. Now, of course, this is a serious mental health issue, and I will not suggest you just diagnose yourself with it just for fun. You shouldn't make any diagnosis about yourself, actually, in any physical or mental health situation, but I'm just gonna talk about what I'm feeling and what I see many people around me are feeling every day, showing some symptoms of the syndrome, and you could actually get help by a professional counselor. I am not one, although I'm very interested in a conversation with others and with other people who are experiencing the same feelings, because I believe that the first step to overcome anything is to realize that you're not alone with it and you can draw a lot of strength out of it. So, a sign of imposter syndrome is attributing your successes to external forces. While you should never forget the people that helped you get wherever you are, and if you believe in karma or luck, I absolutely believe in luck, then fine by me, but thinking that you are where you are today just by mistake or because of the help that you got is ridiculous. No matter how much your mom or whoever might have helped you to get into a position in a company or a department, you had to work yourself from there. You had to be there. You had to accomplish all the steps to become a valid member of the group in this company or department or whatever you are at the moment. And if somebody pays you a compliment for your work, it is not because you were there by mistake and just got to get the compliment, but because you worked for it. I am now not talking about real frauds who actually don't do any of it except manipulating other people into thinking that they were doing stuff, that they accomplished the steps that probably somebody else did. I am talking about people who work their asses off and then still feel inadequate. Another sign is perfectionism and procrastination. These two can be considered to be coping mechanisms to attribute your successes or failures to your hard work or lack thereof instead of your ability and your talent or your laziness. This is a sign of low self-esteem and the feeling of not being talented enough to do something and for it to turn out good if you haven't put 1,000 hours of work in. How draining is this? And not really productive either, because you could be doing so much more in this time. Also, being afraid of failure is another sign, and I'm just noticing this now, but in the phobia video I told you that my biggest fear is to run and not to get there, to do as much as I can but still not be enough. And now I'm realizing how fitting this is. You need to be the best. You are disappointed if you're not the best in a group, and then especially you feel the need to reconcile your fear of underperformance by saying that you are not good at all. You feel that if you are not the best at what you are doing at the moment, then you are nothing. And you know what is so horrible about that? That you will always compare yourself to people that have actually much more experience instead of comparing yourself to your peers that are in the same approximate situation. And you feel guilty about it. I was in a seminar in my first semester of my master's, and there was this guy holding his PhD presentation. He had been working on super complicated new stuff for the past 4 years of his life after completing a bachelor, completing a master, in that same topic. But as I was watching him, the panic creeped up on me because how the fuck am I ever going to be able, and I am going to be good enough to do a PhD? And I hadn't even started with my master yet. You can't compare yourself to people who have done a lot more and have a lot more experience in a very specific topic, which you are probably not even interested in. You cannot be frightened by that. Personally, I do have the feeling that even though I'm also pretty confident in myself and everything I do, but then how is it possible to have both? I have gotten positive feedback on my work. I know that I do my best and that my best is not bad at all. And I also know that while I am doing stuff, I just need to take the next step to get further. And the next step, or each step already taken, doesn't seem so hard or so impossible. If you see this whole thing, your goal, as a huge road ahead, that is very long and very hard way to go. Whatever you're trying to reach, no matter if it is a completion of this one project at uni, or the presentation you are about to hold, or the job you're going to apply for, or your entire life, if you just look at the next little step, it's fine. It's not that hard. It's just another word to write, another slide to make, another send button to click. Every day, or every little section of every day, is fine. You just need to write something, and that's not so hard. But then, as soon as you are applying to something else, or as soon as you realize how far you've come and how much you've done, you panic and you believe that it's too much and that you just wiggled your way through and nobody noticed that you're not supposed to be here, or when you're telling someone what you're doing and they are impressed because it's interesting or a lot, then you try to downplay it. I am personally guilty of all of those points. I'm doing 2 masters at the same time. I have a job on the side, and I had 2 jobs actually before Corona, and I am really good at all of that. I pride myself with pretty good grades and I do my job very thoroughly. I enjoy every bit of it and I am proud of myself that I am able to handle all that. I need to be honest with you. I am really proud of all that and of all my single smaller accomplishments, but as soon as somebody asks me how I managed to do all of that or is impressed that I'm able to, I freak. Like something goes off in my brain and I am downplaying everything. Oh no, that's not as hard as it seems. Oh, the 1 master is really easy to do, so that wasn't big of a deal. It doesn't count as an entire master. Ah yes, I'm doing a lot of it, but it sounds more than it actually is. No, everything I do is really easy, so that's why I manage. And all of these things are not entirely true. I'm doing 2 full-time masters at once, and I have a part-time job at the same time. I also have a relationship, I have a life, and I am reading a lot that has nothing to do with uni, and I love making jewelry and music, and I also sleep at least 8 hours a day. I do all that, and I know deep inside, and only in front of my camera now, that this is a lot, and that it's fine to get a compliment or impress people by it. Why do I downplay it then? or now with my applications to all the PhD positions, I sincerely do not believe that I am even going to be considered for any of these positions. I'm certain that anybody who sees my application is gonna think, what is she applying for? She has no credentials at all. What's she even trying to do? But to be honest, I have more than most of the people in the same application process. I have a job experience, I have a published scientific paper, I have 2 master degrees. I will have 2 master degrees, and I can easily show how flexible and hardworking I am just by taking a look at my CV. I know all these things in theory. I don't need somebody to remind me. I don't need anyone to tell me that I'm pretty good at what I'm doing, or that I'm impressive, that I can do all of it at once. I know it. I still believe that somehow I tricked people into thinking that I was way cooler than I am, that I can do and I'm doing much more stuff than I really am. I believe that I'm not able to be taken on for any of the PhD positions that I applied for because I have shitty credentials, and I really don't. So, my friend Donata, who suggested this topic for today, has repeatedly told me that she is surprised by how confident I am. I am confident about my body, and I'm confident when doing something that I'm doing it the right way. But every time she says that, I'm thinking, oh no, I was bragging again. Oh no, I should stop, because she'll notice that it's all just a huge fraud. But we are also very aware of the fact that we might just downplay ourselves with doing and saying that. And we are aware of the fact that most people do that around us. Even if they don't want to, as soon as somebody doesn't, it feels right away as if they're bragging. Actually, it's okay to be confident in yourself. Yeah, fine. I'm fine with my physical appearance most of the time, but my problems are my academic accomplishments. And that is a huge problem for a lot of people in academia, because you are in constant learning phase, basically, and you are also constantly comparing yourself with people that have been there longer, or that have absolutely different interests and areas of expertise. How do you cope with such mechanisms, and how do you remind yourself of the fact that you are actually where you are because of your hard work and talent and your abilities? If you liked the video, leave it a thumbs up. I am not sure how I feel about it being so personal, but let's try it. I don't have any more time. Also subscribe, hit the bell, and share with anybody you think might meet a few of the criteria to be part of our imposter club. See you next week.